Good morning, everyone. Let's continue with our subject, the poetical books. We have just finished the introduction part of the poetical books. Then we have covered Job and the book of Psalms. Today, let's begin with the book of Proverbs. Okay, Proverbs. Wisdom through precepts. Proverbs, okay, wisdom through precepts. We will see the author first. Okay, let's go to your notes. According to 1 Kings chapter 4, verse 32, Solomon spoke 3,000 proverbs and 1,005 songs. And while he wrote most of proverbs in this book, later chapters indicate that he was not the only author of the book. This section of the Proverbs are ascribed to Solomon, chapter 1 through 9:18, then 10 to 22:16, and 25, 1 to 29:27. Okay? However, the Proverbs in the latter section 25 to 29:27 were selected from Solomon's collection by King Hezekiah's committee. 25:1, then Proverbs 22:17 refers to the saying of the wise, and 24:23 mentions additional saying of the wise. Proverbs chapter 22:17 to 21 serve as an introduction which suggests that this section stemmed from a circle of wise men, not from Solomon himself. Chapter 30 is specifically attributed to Agur, son of Jakeh, and 31, 1 to 9 to King Lemuel. Lemuel's saying contains several Aramaic spellings that point to a non-Israelite background. Okay, so far what we are learning is that Proverbs is Solomon's writing. Okay, the author of Proverbs we attribute to Solomon. But when we research the story of the author or the writing of the author, we see it is not only Solomon who wrote these proverbs. Okay, let's go to your notes and see them one by one. So according to 1 Kings chapter 4 verse 32, Solomon spoke 3,000 proverbs and 1,005 songs. Okay, all of these 3,000 proverbs and 1,005 songs were not written here, but most of the proverbs are written here in this book. Okay, the Proverbs. But later chapters indicate that he was not the only author of the book. So who else wrote the book of Proverbs? Okay, it is the internal evidences that we can get the author from here, that it is not only Solomon. Okay, this is not the external evidences, but internal evidences. Even from the book itself, we can understand that this is not only the writing of King Solomon. Three sections of the Proverbs are ascribed to Solomon. Three sections of the book, okay, from chapter 1 to 9:18, that is first section, and section number 2 is 10 to 22:16, and third section is 25 to 29. Okay, these are all the works of Solomon. Okay, the works of Solomon. However, the Proverbs in the latter section, that is 25:1 to 29:27, were selected from Solomon's collection by King Hezekiah's committee, chapter 25, 1. Now, this particular section 25 to 29, okay, actually that was the saying of King Solomon, but the writing was not done by him. It was a collection collected by King Hezekiah's committee during this King Hezekiah's time. He was asked to bring all the writings of the Old Testament, and so during those time they collected all the writings from different sources, from different authors, and during this time this writing, okay, from 25 to 29 has been collected from Solomon. Okay, Solomon. The writing has been done by this Hezekiah's committee. Okay, the saying was said, the proverb was from Solomon, but it is later collected by King Hezekiah's committee. Okay, then Proverbs 22:17 refers to the saying of the wise, and 24:23 mention additional sayings of the wise. So 22 to 17 to 21 serve as an introduction which suggests that this section stems from a circle of wise men, not from himself. Okay, okay, let's read Proverbs 22 from 17 to 21. Proverbs 22 from 17 to 21. Proverbs 22, 17 to 21. Proverbs 22, verse 17 to 21. Incline your ear and hear the words of the wise, and apply your heart to my knowledge. For it is a pleasant thing if you keep them within you. Let them all be fixed upon your lips, so that your trust may be in the Lord. I have instructed you today, even you. Have I not written to you excellent things of counsels and knowledge, that I may make you know the certainty of the words of truth, that you may answer words of truth to those who send to you. Okay, then come to 24 and 23. These things I also belong to the wise. Okay, these things are also belongs to the wise. Now chapter 22, it talks about the wise man, but we actually don't know who this wise man is. But chapter 24 verse 23, it says these things also belong to the wise. It might be plural. Okay, so it may not be only the it may not be only Solomon's who contribute this writing. Okay, that is what okay, the researcher has finalized it. But that is a confusion words where we cannot exactly tell that is from Solomon or not from Solomon. Okay, but that is what the research says. Okay, but coming back to the last portion of this book, chapter 30 is specifically attributed to Agur. Okay, chapter 30 is specifically attributed to Agur. Now you turn to chapter 30 and you see the first part of it. The words of Agur, the son of Jakeh, his utterance, this man declared to Ithniel, to Ithiel and Ukel. Okay, so it is very much clear the words of Agur, the son of Jakeh. Okay, so chapter 30 is attributed to Agur. It is not Solomon. Okay, chapter 30. Then chapter 31 verse 1 to 9, you read there, it says the words of King Lemuel, the utterance which his mother taught him. King Lemuel was taught by his mother or instructed by his mother, and he recorded whatever his mother said to him. So this is not the writing of Solomon, okay? And Lemuel's saying contains several Aramaic spellings that point to a non-Israelite background. Now, when we see the history of Israel, and you see there is no king like King Lemuel. Okay, we don't see the name Lemuel, but here it comes King Lemuel. So the writing, it says, might be from non-Israelite because the writing is in Aramaic spelling. Okay, so it might not be from the Israelites background. Okay, so the author of the book of Proverbs is not only Solomon. Okay, there is a confusion till chapter 29, but chapter 30, it is very clear from the internal evidence that it is by Agur, and chapter 31, it is very clear that it is by King Lemuel. Okay, King Lemuel. So, but most of the Proverbs has been written by King Solomon. Okay, King Solomon, no doubts of that. But we cannot say that the book of Proverbs is written by Solomon. Okay, the book of Proverbs is not written by Solomon. We cannot say these books. Okay, majority of the part has been written by Solomon, so it might be not. We cannot give credit to him. Okay, even a small little part is contributed by someone, then it cannot be Solomon. Okay, so chapter 30 and 31, it is very clear from the internal evidences that it is not from Solomon. Okay, it is from Agur and King Lemuel. Okay, then the date of writing. As a book of wisdom, Proverbs is not an historical book, but rather the product of school of wisdom in Israel. Solomon's Proverbs were written before his date in 931 BC, and those collected by Hezekiah scribe probably around 700 BC. Okay, so Solomon's writing, he starts from 931, but when Hezekiah collected again, and when Hezekiah wrote it again, it is around 700 BC. So the date could be like 950 to 700 BC. Okay, 950 to 700 BC. Okay, that is the date of writing. Next class, we will see the title of the book. Okay, the title of the book. So see you next class. Have a nice day.